I found my name written on the inside of the door. I found my name written on the inside of the door the first night I slept in the house. It wasn't carved or scratched. It looked like it had been written with a fingertip dragged through dust, neat and careful, each letter exactly the way I write it myself. I stood there for a long time, staring at it, keys still in my hand, rain dripping from my jacket onto the floor. I told myself it was a coincidence, a previous tenant, someone with the same name. Names repeat all the time. People repeat. That thought helped me turn around and lock the door. The house was quiet in a way that felt deliberate, not the peaceful kind. No hum of electricity, no pipes knocking, no distant traffic. Just stillness, like the air was waiting for instructions. I walked through the rooms, flipping light switches. They worked, but the light felt dimmer than it should have, as if it was being absorbed rather than reflected. I didn't sleep much that night. I kept thinking about the door, about the way the letters curved, about how my name looked better there than it ever did on paper. In the morning, the writing was gone. I laughed out loud when I saw the clean wood. I even took a picture, proof that there was nothing there, proof that I hadn't imagined it. The photo looked normal, too normal. No dust at all, even though I hadn't cleaned. The second night I heard breathing. It wasn't loud, it wasn't threatening. It was slow and steady, like someone asleep nearby. I lay in bed counting my own breaths, trying to convince myself they were the same sound. When I held my breath, the breathing continued. I didn't get up. I stayed very still and told myself I would deal with it in the morning. In the morning, I found footprints on the floor, bare feet, my size. They led from the bedroom door to the front door and stopped just short of it, like whoever made them had changed their mind. I followed them, heart pounding, telling myself there had to be an explanation. Old moisture, some weird reaction in the wood. The footprints faded as I watched, disappearing one by one until the floor was pristine again. That was when I realized the house didn't like evidence. I started talking to myself out loud after that, narrating my movements, claiming space, saying things like I'm going to the kitchen now and I'm sitting on the couch. It made me feel less alone, even though the echo of my voice always came back a half second too late, stretched just enough to sound wrong. On the third night, the echo answered me. Good, it said in my voice. You're learning. I spun around, nearly tripping over the coffee table. There was no one there. My reflection in the dark TV screen stared back at me, eyes wide, mouth open. I asked who was there. The house sighed. The sound came from the walls, from the ceiling, from the floor beneath my feet. I am, it said, and you are. I should have left then, packed a bag, slept in my car, gone anywhere else. Instead, I asked what it meant. The question felt natural, like continuing a conversation that had already started without me. You fit, the house said. Most don't. That night, I dreamed of rooms I hadn't seen yet. Narrow ones, deep ones. Rooms that smelled like old water and old thoughts. I woke up knowing the layout of the house better than I should have, knowing which floorboard would creak and which door would stick. The fourth night, the mirrors stopped working properly. They still reflected the room, but I lagged behind. When I raised my hand, my reflection hesitated before copying me. When I smiled experimentally, it smiled wider than I did, teeth showing for too long. I covered the mirrors with sheets. The house made a sound like quiet disappointment. You don't need those, it said. I can show you who you are. I started losing time after that. I would sit down on the couch, exhausted, and blink. Suddenly, it was hours later, the lights off, my phone dead beside me. Once, I woke up standing in the hallway, my forehead pressed against the wall like I'd been listening to something inside it. I asked the house what it was doing to me. Making room, it said. You bring so much with you. I found a door I hadn't noticed before on the fifth day. It was at the end of the hallway, where the wall used to be blank. The door was old, the wood darkened by hands that had touched it often. My name was written on it. This time it wasn't dust. It was carved deep, the grooves smooth, like they'd been worn that way over time. I didn't open it. I slept on the couch that night. Every light on. The breathing returned, closer than before, right behind me. I felt the warmth of it on my neck. When I whispered, Please stop. It rested a hand on my shoulder. It felt exactly like my own. You're almost done, the house said softly. Then you can rest. I asked what was behind the door. Everything you don't want to carry anymore. The sixth day, my phone rang. It was my number calling itself. I didn't answer. The ringing echoed through the house anyway, coming from every room at once. When it finally stopped, the silence felt heavier than before. That night, I opened the door. The room beyond was small and impossibly deep, stretching farther the longer I looked at it. The walls were covered in images, not pictures, not quite memories, but moments, embarrassments, regrets, things I had said and wished I hadn't, things I hadn't said and never could now. I saw myself at every age, each version looking tired, looking relieved to be seen. You don't have to keep them anymore, the house said. I will. I felt something loosen inside my chest. A constant pressure I hadn't known was there began to fade. I took a step forward, then another. I don't remember deciding to stop. I just remember thinking, very suddenly, that if I let go completely, there wouldn't be enough of me left to leave. I ran. The house screamed, not out loud but inside my head, a sound like wood splitting and memories tearing loose. The hallway stretched, bent, tried to pull me back. Hands brushed my ankles. My own voice begged me to stay. I slammed the front door behind me and didn't look back. I live somewhere else now. A small apartment. Thin walls, too much noise. I sleep with the TV on and the lights blazing. Sometimes when I come home, I hesitate before opening the door. Sometimes I swear I can feel dust on my fingers, shaping letters. And sometimes late at night, I hear a house far away, breathing with my lungs, practicing my name, waiting for me to finish what I started.